Hi, having a great day. You're watching JG Entertainment, and for this video, I'm gonna go in for over a character concept that I've made myself, over a character that I really want included in Multiversus, and that's none other than the Flash, as you can tell by the thumbnail. So yeah, I really want him included in the Multiverse. I think he would be an amazing, super incredible character. He has some very unique powers and skills. Super speed could be useful a lot in Multiversus. So yeah, I'm gonna go in over a video on a character concept, which is this video. So yeah, this is my character concept video for the Flash. You're welcome to watch the whole video, and I have all the moves from neutral attacks to side attacks to specials to passives to victory animation to taunts to stage to losing animation, all that type of stuff. Yeah, I have all of that in this video. So to get started, I'm going to be starting with the attacks and everything, but before that, I'm just going to tell you that whenever I do go over the attacks, I might give you the connections to maybe the Flash TV show or to the comics, just to give you a little reference where I'm getting these powers from. Especially if you're not familiar with the Flash, then I'm definitely going to explain it. But if you are familiar with the Flash, you're going to be like, oh my god, that is from the show, that's from the comics, that's super cool, that's super awesome, and I think you're really going to love that. So yeah, let's get started. So for starters, I'm going to start with his neutral attack. And his neutral attack, for me personally, I think that he should throw lightning. So, you know, in the comics and the show, and basically in any media that you see the Flash, he throws lightning, or he shoots lightning, and it's super awesome, super cool thing. So I think for his neutral attack, he should throw lightning. Now, I think that this lightning that he throws will probably do very little damage, probably like, I don't know, maybe 2 damage, just like super small, just really little damage. But I think it could stun the enemy for like, I don't know, 0.3 seconds. I think that's like a really nice amount. It's like super short, but you know, it's enough to stun them for, you could get like a couple good hits on that. I think that would be super awesome. Why do I mean this? I mean, it's lightning, it's a shock, you know, you get shocked. So yeah, let's do that. Why can't it stun? Very few characters have stun. So I think that the Flash having a stun would make a lot of sense. You know, it's like I mentioned, it's lightning. So why wouldn't he have stun? I think that would be super incredible. So yeah, I think that he should throw lightning, and then it will stun the enemy for like a very few times. And I think if you load it up, he'll start loading more lightning. So it's not, he won't just throw one whenever you finally release his attack. No, he'll shoot like multiple lightnings, which he has done that in the comics, which is super incredible. And then with that, he will do more damage, and they will stun enemies for longer. I think maybe maximum should be a second, because a second is a pretty long time to stun an enemy, or like a second and 0.5, so a second and a half. Maybe a really nice time to just stun the enemy. If you hold down the lightning or the neutral attack long enough, it will load up that much lightning, and it will do like, I don't know, maybe 10 damage at most. But yeah, I think that's how it should work. I think throw lightning, and instead of doing a lot of damage, I think doing a little bit of damage to stun, it's a really nice, cool new feature, which I really wanted to do, because I want to make this character feel very unique, because the Flash is a very unique character with a very unique skill set compared to anybody else in Multiversus. So I want to make almost all his moves very unique. So yeah, that's what I'm going for in this video, as you can see with the first move that I have for him. For his second move, for a side attack, I think he should just have super speed punches. You know, Superman has kind of something similar. He's like boom, boom, but I think the Flash should have a lot faster. You know what I mean? I think that would be super awesome. And to add things to that, I think it would be super cool. And whenever he punches, he'll go from side to side on the enemies. So let's say that the enemy's right here. He's gonna punch him right here for like, I don't know, maybe 3 hits, and then boom, he'll go to his head 3 hits, and then boom, 3 hits again. I think that'll be super awesome. You know, the Flash in the comics and TV shows and animation, everything. Every time he's punching somebody, he'll like go around him. So he'll punch right here, then he'll punch right here, then he'll punch right here. You know, he'll go around the enemy, and I think that would be super awesome concept to add to this game. It could make him very easy to dodge as well, but it could also make him super powerful, because what if you dodge that way? Boom, you're screwed, because he's hitting you from that way. So I think it could be a really nice, incredible skill set, and I was like, yeah, that's super awesome. And I think it also look really nice in the animation whenever you're fighting him. I was like, oh, that would be super awesome. So yeah, super speed punches just for a side attack, regular attack. I'm not expecting a lot of damage, but I think you could maybe like keep chaining that, because if you can just keep going around the enemy if they don't get a good dodge on you. So yeah, that'd be super awesome. Now for his up attack, I think he should unleash the Speed Force lightning, shooting it up. And in case you haven't seen that, here's a picture of reference from the Flash TV show where he's like screaming and like the lightning is going up. I think that's a super cool thing that they could add. I think that for that, you just have a bunch of lightning coming out of him, so you're like falling down, and he's like that. He's trying to do like the up attack, and he just launches a bunch of lightning. That lightning will hit you, and it will shoot you while getting you stunned. And the more lightning you get hit by, I think like because it's gonna launch multiple lightnings, you know. So if you get hit only by one lightning, you'll be fine. I think it's just a little bit of damage, unless you're super low, you know what I mean. But you'll get stunned a little bit. But if you hit by a lot of lightnings, if you keep falling onto the same lightnings, then you'll probably get out. You know what I mean? I think that'd be super awesome. And I honestly, I just think that'd be super cool concept. You could dodge it obviously, but I just think that unleashing the Speed Force is a really cool thing, and it would be super cool animation. Now for his down attack, I think he should have super speed running legs, like kind of like Shaggy. You know, whenever Shaggy's falling down, he kind of like runs, or like Joshi in Smash Bros. If you're also familiar with that. But whenever you play Shaggy in this game, he's running down around, like he's kind of moving his feet around. So if you're below him, he'll hit you with his feet. I think that's something that the Flash could definitely have, because you know the Flash is a runner and he runs a lot faster. So he would definitely do a lot more damage. But to differentiate him from Shaggy, I'm sorry, that's a really hard word. Instead of just having him run around, I think they should decrease the radius. You know, Shaggy has like almost like a 180 radius whenever he runs around. I think that the Flash should decrease the radius, maybe like only like 90 degrees of radius, but do more damage than Shaggy. I think that was super awesome because, you know, he does run faster, so I think they should do a lot more damage, but they could reduce the radius a lot, so that way he's not super OP, but if you hit with his down attack, he'll do a lot of damage. Now, moving on to his dash attack, which every character has, and it's a really cool thing. So his dash attack, I think, should be a supersonic punch, and this move actually gets me super excited. So what do I mean by supersonic punch? Well, in the comics, and especially in the TV show, recent TV show in season 1, it was like a super big thing to have a supersonic punch, so the Flash would literally run miles back, like 3 or 5 miles back, and then run in a straight line and have like this supersonic punch that breaks the sound barrier, and then whenever you hit the enemy, it's like a super strong hit, and I think it was super awesome. Obviously, you can't run that much in Multiversus, and I'm sorry that big, but I think it would be super awesome if he has a supersonic punch. Now, how exactly will this work? Well, like I said, this punch has to work from distance to truly create damage. So I think if let's say that this is the radius of the map, like this whole thing, like the whole screen, you see is the radius of the map. I think if you're the Flash and the enemy's right here, and if you do the supersonic punch, I don't think it should damage you at all. I mean, you're too close to him. I don't think it should damage you at all. I think you have to be at least halfway of the difference of the map for the supersonic punch to do damage to you. I think that would be super awesome. So you kind of play into that distance type of thing. And I think that the more distance there is between you and the character, the more damage you will do. I think that would be super awesome. And he would just like run all the way until he hits something or until he hits the edge. And I think that would be super awesome. You know, kind of like how Shaggy kind of kicks all the way until he hits something for the most part, unless he runs out of range. But that won't be the case for the Flash unless you hit the edge of the map, which I think would be super awesome. So I think that could be a super concept. This will definitely make him a little bit less noob friendly, but I think in the hands of a skilled player, this could be a true menace. You know, I think that you have to figure out how much of a distance you can have with your enemy and how much damage you can give with a supersonic punch. Like I said, the farther you are to the enemy, and if you actually land it, the more damage you'll get with that. I think that would be super awesome, especially with like edge of the map to edge of the map. I think you could like perhaps take them out, perhaps if they're like maybe over 60 or 70, just because it's such a strong punch. I think that would be super awesome. So yeah, I would absolutely love that. Hopefully they have that. If they do add the Flash, they have to add a supersonic punch. I think that would be super iconic. And I think the way that I'm describing it right now, where do you add like that distance formula to it, I think that would be even cooler to just give it to the Flash, honestly. So yeah, hopefully they add it. Fingers crossed if they do add the Flash. Now, moving on to his specials, and there's something that gets me super excited. Like I said, I'm really trying to make this character unique, as you've seen with all these moves, where I'm like really trying to get him unique moves and everything. Of course, there's like some baselines, like the punches and like the down kicks whenever he's done doing the down attack. But with his specials, I especially try to differentiate the Flash from any other character, starting with his neutral special, which is just whenever you feel the special button without any joystick. And I think his neutral special should be Flashtime. Yes, it's like an iconic thing he has in the show and the animation, and especially in the comics. I mean, Flashtime is huge. What exactly is Flashtime, in case you're not familiar with it? Well, Flashtime is that the Flash, you know how he goes super fast, he says everything goes super slow, almost like standstill. In fact, there was like this one episode of the Flash where like they explode a bomb and he's in Flashtime the whole episode, and the bomb is like, I think it blows up in like 0.3 seconds or something like that, and the whole episode he's in Flashtime, and he got to stop the bomb after it like started blowing up. So in 0.3 seconds he stops the bomb, but for him it's like an hour or like more. So yeah, that's really incredible. So yeah, Flashtime is really far from the comics and the show and everything. But for how would Flashtime work for the Multiversus game? Well, I think Flashtime will mean that every character will go super slow for 5 seconds, except for the Flash. Every character on the screen will go super slow. I think that'd be super interesting. That does not mean that you cannot do any moves. So for example, if the Flash goes and attack you because he's going regular speed, I think that you can still dodge, but you have to dodge super early. So if you see him come at you, you got to dodge like immediately before he actually hits you, because you know you're gonna be doing super slow moves. Same thing if he's coming at you and you want to attack, you're gonna have to attack way earlier than he is, because like I said, you're super slow. So yeah, I think that would be super awesome. And also I think that in Flashtime, if you're playing 2v2s, if you pass your partner, or maybe just by default, they should also go fast. I don't know if that's gonna be too OP because two slow pokes and like 2 fast ones. I don't know how OP that is. Maybe I think that the Flash passing his teammate, I think that would make more sense. Like you at least have to go somewhere. The Flash at least has to go somewhere to get his teammate to have super speed. I think that would be super awesome. But yeah, I think that if you hit in super speed, you probably do more damage because you know they're taking more damage because you're hitting them really fast. So yeah, I think that'd be super incredible. I mean, come on, how cool would that concept be of just making everybody like kind of go super slow and the Flash is super fast? That's such a cool concept. Like I said, it's only gonna be like for 5 seconds, and I think it should have like a really big cooldown, because I think it could be a really OP move. But honestly, I think it has a lot of potential to like also be conquerable. Like I said, you're not standing still, you can still do some moves, so you can still dodge and everything. And I think it just be super awesome. I mean, why else would you add the flash if you can't have flash time? I mean, come on, flash time is like super important to him. So come on, add that. I think that'd be super cool just to mess with time. I think he's a time traveler. I don't have any time travel for him in here, and I'll tell you that at the end of the video why not. But I just think that's super cool. With flash time, that was super sick. So yeah. Now moving on to his side special, which is his special with the joystick to any side. And I think the side special should be that he grabs the enemy and runs them while rubbing them on the ground. Most recently depicted in The Boys. Have you seen The Boys? I don't know if you have, but have you seen The Boys and Herogasm? Whenever A-Train kind of grabs Blue Hawk and he just runs him through the street until like he kills him, he like rubs them all around. So yeah, I think that could be a really really cool concept that you just have the Flash grab an enemy and then run them through the ground and then throw them once they hit the edge. That would be super sick. Now this is gonna play similar to kind of like how the Supersonic Punch plays, but it's gonna be the opposite. What do I mean by that? Well, I think that it would be super cool what if you grab them, like what if this is the whole map, like I said. So you're right here and your enemy's right here, you can grab them and run them all the way across the map and then throw them at the end. And like I said, you grab them from the leg, and the whole time you're running, you're really just hitting them through the floor with super speed. So like you're running, and the enemy's gonna be like hitting the floor all the time and like taking damage. I think that's gonna be super cool. And then at the edge, you throw them off. I think it'd be super awesome. And it's just similar with, like I said, with like kind of like Supersonic Punch, except that it's opposite because I think you have to be super close to the enemy to do that move. Whereas Supersonic Punch, you have to be like super far away from the enemy to do that move. I think you have to be super close to the enemy, mostly because first of all you have to grab them, so you have to be super close. But also it would be cool if you can grab them edge to edge, because the more ground that you can hit them on, the more damage they're gonna take. If you hit them you get them at the edge, and then like let's say this is edge. If you get them at the edge, but you're facing that way, then you're just gonna basically just throw him. That's all you're gonna do. You're not gonna do any damage to him because you're already at the edge. You can't run him to the ground if you're already on the edge. So you're just gonna throw him, and that won't really do anything to him. But if you're like on this edge and you're facing this way and you grab the enemy and you run him all the way through the map, then it can do a lot of damage. And then you throw him off above that. I mean, I think that could honestly be some really nice potential for knockouts and everything. So yeah, I think that this move could be super awesome. I do think that maybe this might have to have a little bit of cooldown as well, because I think it might be a little too strong, perhaps, maybe. I'm not sure yet, depending on how the team balances it, if they would add this to the game, obviously. But I think it's just a super concept to play with. Once again, making him a little bit not noob friendly and a little bit more skill based, where you have to like actually measure your moves and like, okay, I have to get him like the more ground I can get, the more damage I can do. I think that could be a really cool concept. But that's a really cool move from the Flash, and a really cool move to do with super speed in general. I think would be super awesome in the game. And then after running them through the ground with super speed and really doing a lot of damage to him, just throwing them off the edge, I think could be, like I said, really nice potential for knockouts. Now moving on to his up special, and his up special will be an arm tornado. What do I mean with that? Well, if you've seen this Flash clip right here that I'm just gonna put like real quick, he's going like this, as you can see, he's going like that and creating like kind of like these tornadoes on him, or like kind of like this wind on him. And I think that would be super cool. Up special, why? Well, what if an enemy is falling down and he would just start doing that to you and fly you back up? That's super awesome, because you don't even have to be close to the enemy. Like the enemy doesn't have to be like super close to you, kind of like where Superman, if you want to grab somebody, he has to be like super close and then you can throw him. Now right here you're gonna be like a pretty good distance, and then he would just start flying you up. I think that could be a super cool concept, and it could be some really cool kills with that. What if you're like you're at the top of the map, or you haven't been knocked out yet, and then he just does that? I mean, that would just be like, oh dang it, I'm screwed, I'm dead, basically. You know what I mean? I think that could be some really nice cool potential. Personally, I think they might have to have like a really smart radius, but if you hit that radius, like they will get flown up a lot. It's like iconic to the show, especially from season 1. That's how he started fires in season 1. Every time a building would burn, he would do that and everything. I think it's just a really cool thing that they could add it into this game, and a bunch of Flash fans would go absolutely nuts to see that. So yeah, really cool move. I think, like I said, very unique move as well compared to other characters. No other character really has that. I think it would be super awesome to add more diversity to the game. Now, what about his down special? Well, I have two things for this. I'm not exactly sure which one I want to go with, so I'm just going to give you guys the option here. So the first idea that I came up with for his down special is that he does a tornado. So he runs in circles and kind of does a tornado, but instead of being kind of like similar to Tass's tornado, where if you get close to him, like he does a bunch of damage, I think that tornado would just be to pull all enemies close. So he could be like super far away, and then he does a tornado, and then he would just pull a bunch of enemies super close, even though like let's say there's a whole map, you're like right here, you do the tornado, and the enemy's right here. I would just slowly pull you closer and closer. I think that'd be super sick. This could be really cool and really useful in 2v2, especially because what if your teammate is like getting attacked super hardcore? Maybe he's like at 150 and like they need that one last knockout. Well, you just do a tornado and you separate them from your teammate. I think that'd be super awesome. So yeah, I think that tornado could be really cool. Maybe like have a little bit of cooldown for it. You can't do the tornado all the time, but I think it'll be pretty sick, and it really plays into his super speed as well. So yeah, really nice move in my personal opinion. And the alternate thing I think is that the Flash raises the speed force, causing a bunch of lightning to kind of like just burst down at random moments and causing a very high chance of hitting an enemy. You know what I mean? Because they don't really know where it's going to land, where it's going to be, so you could probably hit an enemy. And I think it's going to be super awesome. The speed force is like a place where it's just just lightning, full of lightning. And just shown right here where the Speed Force is literally just a bunch of lightning. So maybe like he just opens up the Speed Force and bam, lightning on and lightning. The Speed Force is super crucial to the Flash's character, so I could definitely see why that would be the case as well. So yeah, I think that could be super cool. Maybe that's just for like 7 seconds, 7 seconds of just lightning falling down randomly, and maybe if it hits the enemy like once or twice, and it'll stun them for a little bit and do damage. I think that'd be super sick. And it has like a 10-second cooldown because I think it should have like a really long cooldown as well. I don't think you can spam that at all. But yeah, I think that'd be super sick. I mean, why not? That would be super sick. I'm 100% down for that. And hopefully they get either that, either the Tornado or the Speed Force. I don't really have a preference. Tell me what you think about it down in the comments. Which one do you like more? Doing a Tornado that puts enemies closer, or doing the Speed Force where which lightning falls down? I'm very curious to know that down in the comments. And now moving on to his passive ability, which most characters have that, some characters don't, but most characters have passive abilities. Some even have 2 or 3. Diamond has 2, I'm sure, and I think this other characters have 3. So yeah, let's move on to his passive abilities. I have 2 passive abilities for the Flash. The first one, and this is a really simple one, is that he can run up walls if there's walls. Kind of like in the Scooby-Doo map, you know how there's like those walls, the Scooby-Doo mansion? Well, he can run up those walls because, the Flash, he can run up walls, so why can't they just give him that? Most maps, that's not going to be very useful, but I think in some maps that would be super useful. Just run up walls on the Rick and Morty map that they just added, how they had 2 boomboxes. Why not? He can run up that as well. I mean, I don't see why not. He can run up walls. That would be super sick. And along with the map that I think that they should add for him, which I mentioned a little bit, I think it would be super sick. Now for his second passive ability, and I think this one's super interesting, and it's gonna make this character even more unique than he already is by the moves I'm giving him. That is that I think if you held down the dodge button, that's not a thing that right now you just dodge, but you have to keep pressing it. But what if you held down the dodge button? Well, then the Flash will phase through objects, and phasing is basically he vibrates super fast the frequency of kind of like molecules. So anything that passes through him doesn't affect him at all. Like he can run through buildings, can run through anything, and he won't hurt anything because he's facing at the molecules, or he's vibrating at the molecules, at the pace of the molecules and everything. So he'll literally phase through anything. So that's a super crucial part to him in the comics and the TV show. So what does that add to the game? If you hold the dodge button, he'll just phase through whatever there is. And I think he should be able to move while he faces, but maybe for like 5 seconds he'll be able to move. So if you hold on the dodge button, boom, you'll be like facing through things and everything. And I think it's super sick. So if somebody's punching you and you just start facing, they won't be able to hit you, and you'll be able to hit them back. Of course, like I said, it'll probably last like 5 seconds. So it won't be like a huge advantage, but I think it could be really useful for him. Especially like, Harley Quinn throws a bunch of bombs, he could face through the bombs. In fact, there was a whole scene in the show where like he has like a bomb attached to him and he has to face through it. That's like how he discovered facing and everything. Or like traps, how Tom and Jerry puts traps on it, and so does Harley Quinn. He can face through those traps. I think it'll be super sick as well. So yeah, I think that the facing ability should be super cool. And I think the way to get it, the way to build it up, I think should be like, he has to dodge like, 10 times, 10 moves, and then he'll get that facing ability. I think it'll be super sick to kind of build it up. Wonder Woman has like a similar passive ability where he has to build up her passive ability to get her passive ability active. So I think that getting that for the Flash would be super sick. And come on, facing in this game, that would be super cool. Facing through traps, facing through bombs, facing through some moves, only for 5 seconds. That would be super sick for the Flash. And come on, who wouldn't love playing that? I would absolutely go crazy to face and everything. I'd be like super sick, and also kind of like toxic. Imagine the Harley Quinn throws a bomb at you and you just face through it. That would be super sick. Or the Batarang, you just face through it. That would be super awesome and super satisfying. So yeah, super cool. Now, I have a taunt idea for him. What exactly is a taunt? Well, I think that he should, he'll just read a stack of books at super speed. So he just go brum, 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 like in, 3 seconds, and then next to him you just see like a huge stack of books. I think that would be super cool, and I think that would be a really nice taunt or emote, whatever they call it. Come on, that would be super sick. Let's be honest with that. Or maybe he'll just eat 10 pizzas and then he'll leave it there because he's supposed to eat extra. So yeah, I think that'd be super sick. Now, what about for his breakthrough animation? One thing a breakthrough animation for him would be like he runs in a lightning shape and he leaves like a trail on the street or whatever. So it just leave like a trail of lightning that's like shining, because he leaves like lightning behind him. So where he runs, he can leave like a really cool trail of lightning. So just him running in a lightning thing, and then boom, he leaves lightning behind. I think it's super sick. Kind of like a Superman flies off the place. Well, Flash will run out of the screen, but he'll leave a lightning behind. That'd be super sick. And for his Lucy animation, I think he could trip while he's running, so he's like running really fast, and boom, he trips. That would really suck for him, and I think that would be a really nice Lucy animation for sure. What about for stage ideas? Well, I think they could have Central City. I think that would be super awesome. Also Star Labs, that's the lab where he usually hangs out at. Or the Speed Force, really cool with just lightning all over the background. That'd be super sick. Maybe in the Star Labs stage, maybe they have like kind of curves so that the Flash can actually run through walls. They make it unique to the Flash. Obviously, giving kind of like a little advantage in his own map. But for Central City, I don't really know. I don't think there's something like specifically 10,000 Central Cities, so I don't really know how I would make that. But yeah, I think those could be some really nice stages that they could give the Flash, and then to come with an update, that would be super sick. And yeah, that would be it for the Flash scripts that I have. That's all the moves that I have for him, all his abilities, his taunts, his victory animation, his lane animation, his stages. Tell me what you think about it down in the comments. Do you like the moves that I gave him? Do you disagree with me? Do you think he should have other different moves? I did keep a lot of moves away, like time remnant or like time traveling away, because I think that there could be a huge possibility that they can maybe add the reverse Flash as well as the Flash, and I kind of want to keep that for the reverse Flash and make a whole other separate video for the reverse Flash where I add time travel and time permanence. In case you don't know what that is, I'll explain to you in that video. But it's basically another super huge Flash power. So yeah, that's why I added to this video, because I think I'm still saving a lot of moves for the reverse Flash for my future upcoming videos. So subscribe to see that video. I'm sure you're going to enjoy that, where I add time traveling and time permanence. You're guys gonna love that. So yeah, but tell me what you thought about these moves down in the comments. Do you like them? Do you dislike them? Which one do you think would be super cool and super unique? I'm very curious. What about his animation, his victory animation, perhaps some skin ideas like might have for him? Tell me what you think about it down in the comments. I'll be very curious. As well as just leave a like. It'd be very helpful. So please leave a like. I put a lot of effort into this video, a lot of thought of it and everything. So please leave a like and subscribe for other content. I already have a bunch of other Multiversus content, as well as movie content, show content, Marvel, DC, Star Wars. So I'll have to subscribe for all that content. And if anything of that appeals to you, you're really gonna love all the content that's coming for you. And you're really not gonna regret it. And yeah, that'll be for this video. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And this is J Entertainment out.